I just say it.
Welcome to Danu on Fire, right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. Today we're checking out this amazing place which is located at Independence Arcade. Yes, and this is called Zamba.
Well done.
Thank you. Just wanted to get the names right. And with me I have someone who is very well known in the fashion industry. She's also an advocate for a lot of things. She also fights for women's rights and so much. I'm happy to have Sonali.
Yay.
Hello,
Hi.
hello.
Hi.
So Sonali, you have a very strange combination of things that you do in life.
Yeah, most interesting people are
Yeah.
strange like that, no?
That is true.
Yeah.
So you are also someone who is very, for the cliche word,
What is
very
it?
nerdy in what you do.
Yes.
But you also like the whole glamour, the way and stuff as well. It's
Yes.
just two different worlds, but you have made it come together beautifully.
Yeah.
So tell me about what you currently do.
What I currently do. Okay, so yes, like you said, I model as well. I've been doing that for the last 10 years. I started very young.
Yeah, you were like 5. when you
I was
started.
5.
Yeah.
15 now,
Yeah.
so take this away. I work with Santani. I'm the head of their corporate social responsibility. I've worked with WHO for the last 6 years. I'm still with them, but as a researcher now. I used to be their gender equality rights officer in about 8 different countries. So I moved around quite a bit with them. And I'm also the co-chair of a global movement on comprehensive sex education and abortion rights called She Decides.
Amazing. Now, what is She Decides all about, and how much of awareness do we still need to give in a country like Sri Lanka to understand that women's body is not for another person to make the decision on behalf of them for?
Yeah, I think She Decides is basically, it was the response to, when I was working with WHO, I came across a lot of instances where we are sort of guided by the global north and their agenda and sort of what they think is right for a country like Sri Lanka. So for example, a lot of the funding was going into contraception, but in Sri Lanka, you and I know, like there's a difference between having a contraception and the ability to negotiate safe sex with your partner. Like that power dynamic doesn't exist. And so for that you need investment in sex education, comprehensive sex education.
And understanding the right, even if you're married, no is no for sex.
Thank you so much. Because marital rape in Sri Lanka is not decriminalized.
Yeah.
So it's a bit, I think the word that comes to mind rhymes with it, and it's not great. It starts with education. It also, so She Decides basically is our response to that sort of Western funding sort of setting the agenda. It's a global movement. We have about 250 champions now. And the objective is to identify feminist funding as a response to this global situation, but also to empower young people to go into these spaces, the UN spaces, wherever conferences are happening, online, wherever things are being decided about young people's bodies. We want to put young people in there, and with the with the intention that you know nothing about us without us. Like you're making decisions about us, include us. And we are educated, we can speak, we have agency. So that's kind of the driving force of She Decides. And yeah, in Sri Lanka, we've done a lot of work, but not at the grassroots level, which is what I'm really pushing for now, kind of separate to WHO, separate to the initiatives that I work with in private sector, particularly with Santani. Separate to that, building my own social, social advocacy and my own platform as an individual. Like you said, like I embrace the duality of being, you know, fashion and this, and I like that I'm interested in all these things, but I've been less so vocal about it in Sri Lanka, and so now that's the plan.
Right. Now, you know, something that we always deal with is when it comes to period poverty, when it comes to abuse or, you know, sexual abuse, whatever it is, we always think, oh, we need to go to the grassroots level. Sometimes it's not even the grassroots level. It could be in the most comfortable neighborhood, in the most elaborate homes, and that is where you will least expect it to happen, and sometimes it does. And they find it more shocking to speak about it because that has a lot of social norm, it has a lot of, oh my God, you got married to someone. There's all of those social pressure that's put onto you, and you feel like, no, I don't want to talk about it. But whereas in the rural sectors, you know, I have seen that you have either the weakest links who have been, they have been conditioned to just be an object, and you have the others who will just hammer if somebody hammers. So there's some part of retaliation. With all the work that you have done with WHO and the UN, tell me, when you have gone to these places and other work that you have done, have you seen this kind of dynamic? And where do you feel it's a pressing issue? Is it for young girls or for married women or just women in general?
No, that's super interesting because well, look at you being very nuanced there. No, it is very interesting here. Like one of the reasons we can't, and I work a lot on abortion rights, so it's like a difficult topic in itself.
What is your take on abortion?
I am pro-choice, of course. Like I think it should be, my thing is called She Decides. Like I think women should be able to decide, considering especially how rampant like rape is here, especially instances of grave rape instances. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it should be provided safely. That's why I advocate for it, because just because abortion is illegal here doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening, just happening unsafe.
In the most brutal way possible.
Yeah, that too, but also like you can find medical abortion pills here. It's just the price is not regulated, and there it creates like inequalities for people that don't have money. So we're just lying to ourselves, because also the health system provides post-abortion care. So as a system, you're telling women, like, go hurt yourself, but at a higher cost to the health system, we will take care of you. It's just a logic, like it doesn't make any sense. And every time I've like spoken about it vocally, I get like policymakers, people in positions, decision maker, and even like, you know, the crowd that you were talking about, that's like sort of upscale Colombo types, they all agree, but they are afraid to voice that opinion because of like, it comes back and it's about your personal character, and like your resistance becomes like, okay, why do you want to talk about it? And I just feel like I don't have much to lose, you know, and I feel very strongly about the work that I do. And like you said, like I've seen it. Like I've seen that the women that you're describing at the grassroots level have so much power and they have so much potential. The difference between us and them, or the difference between me and them, is the fact that I don't live like day to day. I'm not surviving. I can thrive, and I have the privilege of talking about these things. Whereas for them, it takes a lot for them to come on the streets and fight for something that, you know, is their right.
Sometimes not knowing what they're going through.
Yeah,
they just
that's,
think it's just,
yeah.
They think it's just normal, because I have spoken to girls and women who have said,
this is the way.
Kara. So you're like, if my mom has taught me how to rob, I will rob, thinking that you are mad for not robbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. We'll come back and speak more. Do stick around. Sonali also took part in Miss Sri Lanka for Universe. I didn't expect Sonali to be a pageant girl.
Me neither, to be honest.
Yeah. So we'll speak about it when we do come back. Do stick around this time. Thank you to our friends at Flowers by M. Ceylon for joining us on Danu on Fire. Now, these guys are known for amazing moments that they have been celebrating Because flowers can make any situation so much more pleasant. Now, when you're the first runner-up, or even if you're just there doing advocacy work, you need appreciation.
Thank you so much.
You must be used to getting flowers and waving at people. Just do one of those. Like,
Just
there you go, there you go. There you go. I've done that by myself too, like, you know. But with Flowers by M. Salon, they've created a name for themselves in making all of these amazing moments so much more special. You know those boring, poor situations, you know, when you get married, you'll understand.
personally, I've never been married, but you know, hoping to.
Yeah,
I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
M.
So, when you get married, you know, you don't want a boring poro.
Yeah,
You want something magnificent.
Jazz it up.
I know.
Yeah.
So let's jazz it up at Flowers by M. Salon. They're located at Havelock Mall. For more details and social handles, you can come to know all the details. So thank you for joining us on the show.
I just say it.
Welcome back to the show. This is Danu on 5. We're speaking to Sonali about her time running for Miss Sri Lanka for Universe as well. How was the whole pageant? Because you've always been on the ramp as a model, and a lot of people confuse modeling and pageantry. It's two different things. Pageant, you have to be kind. You have to have a purpose behind your title, and at the same time, you need to be pleasant on the ramp. But when you're a model, you can have swag and you know just. But what do you like most?
About pageantry, I mean, they're totally different worlds.
Yes.
It was definitely a new experience, I'll say. It was exciting. Yeah, honestly, I was just down for the ride, and I thought, yeah, this is an exciting one. I really wanted to do it because I wanted people to get to know me beyond the ramp and what I work on and how hard I work and why I care about the things I care about. And also, I think the platform, it would have been great to build off of my advocacy. But yeah, God has a fun way of saying maybe you are the platform that you are looking for.
And also, you're first runner-up, so that's a great thing. It's not.
It was cool.
How many girls took part? There were 18.
There were 18 girls,
There you
and
go.
they are fantastic girls.
Yeah.
And we're still in touch. We've been like brainstorming, thinking about doing a podcast. So maybe we come on your show, launch it. We never know.
Never know. So it's great.
Yeah.
You know, I always believe that pageants do open doors for some people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not winning a pageant also opens doors. You know, my great example is all reality stars who have won the title have never done things. All reality stars who have lost prior have done great things. So it's one of those. But I know if you have won Miss Sri Lanka, it would have given you a platform to do what you're doing.
Yeah, it's also what I wanted to bring to that platform. I work a lot in diversity, equity, inclusion. I really, again, like you said, I wanted to show women that you could be, you know, you can embrace your feminine side, you can embrace your nerdy side, and you can do both those things gracefully. I wanted to expand it to minority communities. That was a really big hope that I had, but I think I still will continue to do that work, just, you know, sans title.
Yeah.
And,
But you still have a title.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very.
Sonali Silva.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry.
So there you go. So that's what it takes. But let's speak about. We have had so many beauty pageants and beauty queens who have come about. What would you like to see that, as a country, that we gather around to create for people? See, you're one of the fortunate girls. You can speak the language very well. You can speak both languages very well, which helps you to connect with a way bigger audience. And you have worked, you have educated yourself, so it gives you more reasons to understand all depths of it.
Yeah.
And also beauty pageants don't only look out for the looks, they also look out for everything that comes with the looks.
Yeah.
What would you tell the girls who are coming in future to this? How important it is to be aware of the world with what they have studied, what they could bring forward. It doesn't all need to be advocacy. It could be anything, even technology. Could be something that they could contribute to society with. What would you tell them that they need to have? Now that you have been in the whole pageant world as well, you're like,
I think for me,
you're Aishwarya, you know.
I really am. Thank you.
You know that it's the one who won was Shushmita.
Yeah, she went to Universe,
Yeah,
and the other one went to World.
So you're Aishwarya. She's first runner-up.
Thank you so much
There you
for
go.
believing in me. Thank you, judges. Lol. You can't
Yeah.
unstop the pageantry.
When I can't see, you look like Aishwarya.
Yeah, when you close your ears also sound like her. What was I going to say? With what you said, I think like Maya is a fantastic example of like a title holder that works in cybersecurity, like nerd head. You met her, you know, she's fantastic. So I think if my advice for girls that are thinking about getting into pageantry is definitely be clear about your why, because I feel like if you're thinking about it as an entry into, you know, advocacy or fashion or whatever, it kind of, I personally think it's the other way around. I feel like they're looking for role models and not necessarily models. Like if you want to represent your country,
you need to have that
gravity of like you know your country, you know what what is happening in the world with regards to just as a woman, you know, in Sri Lanka. I think you have a little bit more substance when you go to represent. But yeah, I fully feel like, you know, the girls that are representing Sri Lanka this year are fantastic. So I think we have a good chance. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Fingers
You know,
crossed.
that makes you a stronger candidate, because you know it's all about, you know, a space for everyone.
There is. There
and I think you
truly
have
is.
been in this world, seen women who have come through struggles that have been absolutely terrible, and you know that, you know, they can still achieve things.
Yeah, I think even from like the feedback that I've gotten with my pageant participation, I'm so like touched that I think every single Miss Sri Lanka from like, you know, 2006, 2007, including Anarkali, which was so cool for me. I was like, whoa, you that girl and you're not even here, you know. She messaged being like she's really amazed with the answer and what I'm trying to do with the message. And yeah, my take home is, I think the crown is within you. It doesn't have to be on your head.
That is true. That's what I believe.
Yeah, you've been wearing that crown deep inside.
I've been wearing that crown deep inside.
Nobody's seen it yet.
Nobody. But you know, I wanted to ask you, why this advocacy field? Why work where you don't, you know, where you have such a glamorous thing that you can do, and then you go and work like in Puttalam somewhere in like Kurasa, where you're like burned to crisp and your hair looks like it can do with like a conditioner preservation.
You know, you've seen me.
I know, and you know, sometimes I'm like, can
What
you
happened?
dust her off a little bit to see whether it's actually
Put her back on a ramp or not.
Yeah, but what made it? No, don't answer that. You answer that when we do come back after the break. We're checking out Zamba. You know, Zamba.
Yeah, you gotta say it.
We're getting to a break. We'll see you on the other side because we gotta eat this fabulous looking Niaz Yuan, which is in front of me. And what have you got?
I've got some pasta, darling.
All right,
fantastic.
all right. We'll see you after the break. Please correct. Become the fabulous you, feeling confident and comfortable. We're talking about our sponsors at Double XL. Thank you for joining us on Danu on Fire. You can now walk into their store and enjoy a true Sri Lankan brand that really embodies beauty in all sizes. Thank you for joining us on Danu on Fire.
I just say it.
Welcome back to the show. We are speaking to Sonali, and she has some big plans with She Decides, and it's a great initiative. This also sort of opens our minds to think, you know, as much as we create awareness for women who are in need in, you know, having their rights being heard, there are also men who have been deprived of this. There are certain areas where they have been completely abused by somebody who is so dominating that they've lost their sense of individuality. So I think it's very important that organizations like this come and create that environment where everyone could be heard for the right thing. Now, you work with some big people in this project, which is an amazing thing, because not only that we're creating this noise from Sri Lanka, but we're also creating awareness about this situation that is there, and we like to just look away. And even the most sought out countries have these in their neighborhood. And you'll be surprised, you'll be like, no, it happens. So let's speak about some of the big names that you're co-chairing with.
Drop.
Yeah, just
Casually name drop.
One of the co-chairs, actually I'm a stool, I'm a co-stool.
Where are we looking? Well, yeah, well, like you said, just on gender equality there, I think it's not about men and women and who has less. it's like just clarity. It's like this is about power dynamics. It's about
Correct.
an imbalance of power, and we are trying to make sure that equal opportunity, equal outcomes are available for all genders, sexual orientation. So I think in that work, everybody has a role to play, which she decides. The name dropping starts now, right about now.
Done.
Yeah, the
Go.
co-chairs, the champions that we've had. We have the Prime Minister of Belgium, Alexander De Croo.
Hey there,
Maybe I send
Alexander.
this clip to him, like, hey, thank
Hey,
you so
Alex.
much for.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
He's been an avid She Decides champion and supported us. We even had the She Decides +5, that's the anniversary in Brussels, and he was the co-host. And that was fantastic. And like you mentioned earlier in the break, we work very closely with Malala, who's
Hey, Malala.
hi
how are
Malala,
you? Yeah.
who is a global champion on
Yeah.
on
Hi,
girls'
Mal.
education. Yeah, hey Mals. I'll just WhatsApp this to her later, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, casually.
Yeah.
So yeah, we work alongside her. She's a global an icon for education, and we push for comprehensive sex education. And she's been fantastic. We have other fantastic chairs, institutional chairs with Amnesty International, and like you said, it's taking. It's incredible that I can start from almost nothing to building something powerful like this and. Spreading the word about it is great. Thank you. It's because of people like you that have given me the opportunity to do that. And yeah, making the most of that. And I'm sure people will see this, go look it up, and that's kind of what I want. Yeah.
And the reason why this started was you have seen it, you have been there, you have heard what people need to hear, and you have heard what they have been screaming to say,
Yeah.
and this has inspired you to start this. So
Yeah, I've experienced it.
Yeah.
As a woman here, 1 in 6 women in Sri Lanka experience sexual assault. 98% experience sexual harassment. So, I mean, it's not an absurd thing or unique thing. I've definitely experienced it. I know where it's coming from. Then this power that you hear in my voice used to sound like pain. So that's the source, I think.
and you have converted that into something more positive, and there is some kind of change that has started already, which
Yeah.
is what is needed. Now, let's speak a little bit about what's next for you.
What's next? Okay.
Okay,
Well,
marriage and
I don't know about that. I haven't found anybody that knows.
Really?
Yes. The next time you have guests, just have a little scorecard and audition.
are you picky?
Try to. I'm very picky. I'm picky with not picky. I'm selective. That's a better way to say. You just come on. You need to check the boxes for some things. You can't just.
Do
I can't be the
fall
full
into?
package, and you're not even.
Do I fall into?
Oh yeah, 100%. Self-made,
So-
intelligent. Powerful voice, collaborative. Should I keep going?
Just, can we just continue the show for an hour?
Yeah.
Just you start
say nice
using words to
things, yeah.
describe me.
Clear skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good sense of fashion. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right, now coming back, yeah.
Yeah.
So apart from that, what's next?
What's next? So I finished my master's. I strongly push for everybody to upskill your own voice and to be, earn the right to be recognized as an expert in your community. So I got that education. I am thinking about doing a PhD.
You should.
I should. It's a long commitment.
I know it is.
It's a big one. I'm thinking about it, but I feel like I don't know. I really want to I want to be more useful to my community, and I want to be unstoppable in that sense. There could be no reason that you think that I shouldn't work on this. So I kind of want to do that. Yeah, and like I said, I have my own personal experiences as a young woman. What I went through, without having gotten growing up in the society we grew up in. And I think I have an obligation to disclose that, to say hey, I'm one of you. You could, it depends on how you see me as okay, glamorous and all of these things, but very real experiences. So maybe I start being more vocal about that. I'm thinking about a book, but so yeah.
Are you going to openly say what you went through and faced when you were young?
Absolutely. I think I'm still working through that with my therapist. So there'll come a time when I want to share that, and you'll be the first call for sure. But yeah, I think it's important because sometimes these are just truths, and the more you are vocal about it, the more it normalizes for people to also speak up. And at this point in my life, it's I have nothing to lose with that, and I have everything to gain, when it comes to supporting women and giving them the platform to, you shout it out, sis, Yeah.
What do you tell those people who have tried to cripple you, who have tried to stop you?
I think everybody meets that resistance, you know, and sometimes if you're different, that resistance starts at home. So for me, when it's been, you know, people trying to hold me down or take opportunities away from me because I don't measure to their criteria, that happens often. It's not something new. I'm very used to that space and used to that because I've always been different. I've always been a little bit different to the society that I grew up in, and so I don't find that challenging if it's familiar for you. I think what you should just have the frame of mind that if you've worked this hard, it's gonna crack somewhere. There's gonna be light at the end of this, and just keep working towards it. Yeah.
Let's all work towards the crack.
Let's work towards the crack. Find the crack.
Yeah, let's find the crack. That's the most important thing.
Or be the crack.
Yes. Or use the crack.
Is he allowed to? Wow, this just became PG-18. Thank you.
Just with that last line. Yeah. We need to wrap things up. Thank you so very much. You know, this place is run by Johan Seth.
Yeah, the guy who does fish.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we tried.
I know. I'm telling you, he's fine and this place is fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so very much. On that note, we need to wrap things up. Thank you for being here and thank you, and I wish you all the very best. Until we see you again,